Do you think someone like Nick Fuentes could become president? I'd say the best for last.
It's a really good question. I think someone like Nick Fuentes is perhaps too principled to become president, because if you become president, you need to understand that you're not going to get what you want in any regard, and it's just endless bullshit compromise. Trump doesn't get to do 100% of what he wants. If he wants to do 10 things, he gets to do 5% of each one at best. And it's just hard to compromise on that level. If you're truly, truly militant in what you believe, you're never going to have real power. And that's the thing that's most frustrating about power, is that when you get it, even if you have these grand intentions, the only way you can keep it or actually get anything done at all is to massively reduce your intentions. It sucks, you know? So Nick would have to make a whole bunch of compromises to get power. And if he did that, his fans would turn on him. We've seen that recently with people who talk a game and say they're going to do certain things, and they get power, and then they realize it doesn't work that way, you know? And then they have to go back and say it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I understand enough about the world, and I've kept this podcast lighthearted. We can do another one where I'm a lot more serious, but what is power? Like, power is just an office and a pen and a piece of paper. It's not real. Like, you're in an office and you have a piece of paper and a pen, and you can use that piece of paper and the pen to make men with guns go places. That's all it really is. And there's people in other rooms with pieces of paper and pens who can stop those men with guns going places. So you imagine, like, he's the director of this agriculture. He can't make plants grow. He can't make the sun shine. He's not God. He can't make it rain. He's got a pen and a piece of paper. And when you actually are ever in a position of power and you start trying to use that pen and piece of paper, you'll realize it doesn't work. Nothing happens. It's not magic. It's like you writing down your intentions for the morning. It's like you writing down your, what's the word I'm looking for? The thing, you remember them, you say them over
affirmations.
And over. That's right. It's like writing down your affirmations. It may come true later, and it may happen quicker if you keep writing it down. But it's kind of like, like the system is so big, the bureaucracy is so slow. There are so many things in the way that can prevent that law from coming true. There's other people with other pieces of paper. There's people who refuse to obey. There's people who don't openly refuse to obey. They just ignore it. There's so much going on with the human element of all of these things, and you've just written on a piece of paper. It's very, very hard to get everybody to instantly comply unless you rule with absolute fear. That's why COVID they could do very quickly, because everyone was afraid. Yeah. That's why MBS in Saudi can bark an order and they'll listen. That's why Xi can bark an order and they'll listen, because everyone's afraid. But no one's afraid of Trump. Like, Trump can't chop your head off. Trump can't say, F the courts, put him in jail for life. He can't do it.
Yeah.
So when everyone's writing on these pieces of paper, everyone's kind of like, yeah.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah. Who gives a f? Right? So that's why you'll notice that the American government seems so much more interested in other countries outside of America than in America, because outside of America, they can take decisive action. Get the Blackhawks, let's go. Inside of America, they can't really actually even do anything. If you were to go to Newsom right now and say, fix this road is broken, fix it as fast as you can. Like, you have $100 million and every day it takes to fix it, money disappears. Let's motivate you, get this done. He'd write on a piece of paper and call a guy, and they'd send a piece of paper, and that guy would go to the committee to get the state funding and write on a piece of paper, and the guys would sit around. Take for nothing. It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Send a dude with the brush to sweep it up and fix like in Dubai. It takes 2 minutes. The whole system's so
everyone's got to make sure they get their cut.
Everyone's getting money along the whole way. Yeah. Everyone's getting corruption the whole way. Everyone who sends a piece of paper wants some money for it. Just like the gym. Folding towels. So the thing gets wrecked. So before you know it, it costs $10 billion to fix a little road. So none of these people in power have power.
Or to build an invisible train between LA and San Francisco.
That costs billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions, because they had to make sure that the train wasn't going to hurt the frogs. So you had to go to the frog company to check on all the frogs in the entire area. And that cost $2 billion. And the frog owner is the brother of the guy who's in charge. Bull.
So stupid.
Yeah, it's right. So the people who are in charge of all of these things, what's actually most scary is that They don't have any power. So who actually really has power? And if you were to ask me, the answer to that is twofold. One, it's the transnational capital, which is the first thing. I mean, the fact that BlackRock and Vanguard want to own all the land in Ukraine, and they've managed to convince governments to keep sending all their weapons over there so that the war can continue, so that Russia doesn't win. Because if Russia wins all that land, then Vanguard and BlackRock don't get it.
Right.
So how have we convinced all these governments to keep throwing their money away in Ukraine? Well, Vanguard and BlackRock clearly have a way to convince people. Clearly.
Yeah.
So they have all the money, but the other people who have all the control in the world are the people with the guns. It's all just guns, bro. At the top and at the bottom, it's the same. It's the same with the street gang, which is the most powerful street gang, who has the most guns.
Yeah.
It's the same at the top, who has the most guns. So it's whoever can write the piece of paper that will get the most people with the most guns to
And
go
who's
somewhere.
willing to elicit the most violence.
That's right. Who's the most ruthless?
Yeah.
And that's why the liberals win, because they're more ruthless. In the end, because they're ideologically aligned with their ideals to the point where they believe people should die if they disagree, they're always going to be more ruthless than a Republican is. Republicans are a lot more logical.
Yeah.
Logic doesn't win when you're fighting with a savage. And here we are with the best president in history, 1 year in. Have we really destroyed the Democrat raw? No. They're gearing up, bro.
Yeah.
It's going to come back with a vengeance, and it's going to be bad when they get power again. It's going to be bad.